what a lot of painters like about oil paint is the lusciousness and the physicality of it, which I completely leave out. There is no structure within the painting itself. It's kind of all washes and always painted in the first layer, because I do like the watercolor look. I love that aesthetic, but watercolor only goes so far, and oil paint gives you a much larger range to work with. I learned early on that when I wanted to paint larger paintings and I wanted to make it relatively immediate, I would just sew scraps together, and I saw that added a little bit of depth or physicality to the actual object of the painting. And I started sewing them by hand, and this whole process of sewing, the repeated action of it, doing it by hand, I really enjoyed, because again, it marked the time, and it slowed me down. So the way I composed this painting, I had no idea what I was going for when I initially started it, but I knew I wanted a kind of an upside down bed. So these two big pillows that are sewn on the bottom, I have beds in the work, not as prominently anymore, but they come up over and over again in the fabric of the bed sheets and stuff like that. The intimacy of that comes up a lot, and so I kind of wanted to reference that a little bit, and so I started sketching on this bed, and initially I was going to make rows of figures, and have a figure on each of these patches as a kind of an evolution of movement. Then I started with the shrimp. I saw these sides of the painting, these kind of like sausages or long pillows, and for some reason it made sense to have that shrimp kind of growing in there. And this model is actually my cousin. So I love her because she combines a lot of different elements. She's very muscular. She has very muscular arms, very muscular legs. She has a interesting spine that has this curve, and she sort of hunches sometimes. So her spine really has this S shape, which is absolutely fantastic. Very, very curvy, but in an unusual way that's not expected. And you can't see it here, but she has an absolutely beautiful face, kind of like a little angel, like a child. So she has the masculine, the strength, the feminine, the softness, and the child in her. And that's why I've been painting her for about 15 years. And she's the only one who comes up in the paintings over and over again. And I'm not actually painting her as a person. I'm painting, using her as a kind of an actor or stand-in, as a self-portrait for myself. And me not literally, but me in a kind of a psychological sense. So a lot of times elements come together that don't really belong together, but have a sort of an association, which I don't really explain, because it's kind of like explaining a dream. It is very particular to me and my experience, but it isn't really that relevant. in the meaning of a painting or something like that. And I always find it very interesting when elements fall together kind of randomly and end up telling a story that they tell in the mind of whoever's looking at it, kind of an unintended story. And if I can come up with allegories or stand-ins for things that that weren't yet described in that way, and that can change meaning throughout the course of your time with the painting, then I feel I've succeeded, ideally, for myself. So a lot of it is gray. There is this concept of Eigengrau, or this idea of Eigengrau. Eigengrau is the color that you see when you close your eyes, and it's the color that your own body produces, or your own brain conjures up when your eyes are closed. And I find this color gray to be really nice because it's not demanding of you. It's a very peaceful color because it doesn't tell you anything. It's just there in the background, and it's pleasant to paint on because you can actually sculpt in a way with light and shadow, because you can pull the light out, and you can press the shadow in. So it's almost kind of a sculptural way of painting and constructing the light and dark in the painting. So if I can think about the process of applying the paint and how the paint behaves, but don't have to worry too much about the colors, then I find the paintings more successful. I guess this is very technical. I don't want the colors to play too much of a part and kind of stay out of my way when I work. So the range of colors is very limited. So what I have to do is keep 4 colors flying up in the air, or 3 colors in white, which is easier for me, and more immediate, more straightforward as a painter. Yeah, so it's strange because I make paintings that aren't really paintings. They're oil paintings, but they're not painted like oil paintings, and they're not actually using any color really in any meaningful way. What would I do if the work were never to be seen by anybody? What would I make if I weren't to show it to anybody? Now, I'm still going to see it myself because I'm the one making it. But what would I make if I were to immediately destroy it after making it? And that's what I'm trying to get at.